Hello and welcome to the next video of me vlogging the building of the Endeavour. This is an eagle moss kit donated to me by my friend Peter Woodhead, who hopefully will be watching these videos. They are published weekly. I've already gone ahead and done some of the next stage now, which is to pre-cut these lengths of this what's called AUS wood into 65mm lengths. I've got some there ready to go as well, and I've also actually edged some of these. So the next step now is to start planking this area of the deck all the way to here, and that's what this video is going to be, just covering that extra section. So we'll put it on the time lapse once again and we'll see how we do. Jump in now on this part of the video. So this sub half has gone quite well. I've had to make sure that I line it with the center here. There is a natural line with joining line from the two deck halves, so I've used that to align these first few, but yeah, it's going so far it's going okay. I'll need to sand these down. In the kit, in the finished kit, a majority of this deck will be covered by another deck anyway, so it doesn't matter if it's not quite exactly right, but it is pretty good. So next thing I need to do now is mark the ends of these, or the edges of these, with a black pencil, and I'll get on with that now. Okay, so I have completed planking this lower deck. All that remains now is to give it a light sanding. It doesn't matter if I have to redo some of these pencil marks for the pretend nails. This part of the deck is going to be not that visible anyway. There's going to be another deck which goes on here, and after I've put the sanding sealer on, then I can put this next mid deck on. I'm going to actually start planking this mid deck here, but I'm not going to actually install it just yet. Also, when I've sanded and sealed this, there has to be some beams between these bow sections here, and that's what the mid deck's going to lie on. So I'm going to get the next bit ready, and I'm going to start preparing the planks. So I need to cut these 65mm strips again, edge them in black, and I'm going to spend a little bit more care over this deck because this will be quite visible, this top deck. So I need to make sure everything's exactly as it should be. So let's get to it. As you can see in the time lapse, I've cut quite a few of these. It is taking quite a while, even on the time lapse. So I'm not going to bore you with the rest of that. So I'm going to cut out as many of these as I can now. I'm going to edge them with a black pencil once again. So for you, from now to when you see them all done, it'll be instant. For me, of course, I'm going the long way round. Okay, so I've cut a whole load of these planks now, but before I go on to do the edging, which you've seen before on previous videos, I just want to say that I'm going to use a much darker lead. This is a 4B, which is quite a soft lead, and it should give me a darker edge on the, yeah, already it's working quite well. So I'm going to be using that to edge all these planking strips. So I'll do the first one in time lapse, and then I'll complete the rest off time lapse. These beams aren't in place just yet, but we're just making sure that there's no sanding needed. These are going to be covered by the decking, so I need to make sure that I don't cut those out afterwards. Let's just see how the other side goes on. There's a little bit of warping in that one there on here, but I believe that when the deck is pushed into position, it will be fine. And you know what, a tiny little bit of warping on this one as well, nothing really that's going to detract. I think we'll be okay. So this is going to go, let's see if it'll go in without any sanding whatsoever at this stage. Yeah, how about that? It's pretty much in there. Yeah, so, but I will give it a little bit of a sand. That's going to go down like this. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to plank all that up now. I've done a whole bunch. I don't think I've done enough. It takes ages to do that. So I'll put us on time lapse, and I'll start at this edge here, go all the way down this line, and I'll do this right hand plank deck first. That one dry. I've got that pretty melt on the edge level. Oh, maybe not this one. Oops. But anyway, yeah, just adjust that. But anyway, I'm going to continue. Yeah, that looks okay now. Just looking down the line, making sure all the planks are absolutely lined up. It is just still needs a little bit of adjusting, that one. This is why I like using the white glue, because it just does remain a little bit malleable before it dries. Anyway, there we go. So let's do the rest. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry, and then I'm going to sand it, then put the pencil mark in, and then I'll put that sanding sealer on this. Oh, and of course I'll trim all this around as well. I'm going to be careful to make sure that I cut only the right holes here. Some of them will remain covered, some of these here. Anyway, on to the next part of the video. So that's the so-called waste deck. It's been sanded and planked, of course. All that remains now is to put the sanding sealer on that, and then I need to do the other side. So I might just put all that completed on the next video, or on the next part of this video, I should say. Okay, so let's get to it. So just by magic, the other side's been done. But I've sanded this down now. It's in readiness for the sanding sealer. I've got some of this. I think it's not acrylic. I think this is cellulose, I'm not sure, but yeah, you need white spirit for this one to clean your brushes with, so I'll be using that in a bit. So before I do that though, when sanding, it's taken it nicely down, really nice and smooth. This is a much better surface than the deck here. I've got to put the nail heads in the form of a pencil dot on all these ends here. So each one of these strakes will have a little dot to mark where a nail would have gone. Yeah, they seem to have come out okay. Both of these, slight warping on the left one, but again, that'll get fixed up when it gets glued into place. I also did the same with the Castle foredeck. Again, I think I made a little bit of a screw up really, because I put the pencil marks in a little bit too early prior to the sanding. I think it's something I should have waited to do. So in the other videos you will see me putting these dots in, but I've done it, it's okay. I just need to go over a few of them just to get them more defined. So I'll be doing that. Let's get on with it. So that's the Castle foredeck completed with the nailing. Next thing to do is just to give that a coat of the sanding sealer. So let's get on with the waist deck, right hand side. Segment. So here we go, let's just see what happens. It took ages to do those pencil dots. I still have to do the remainder on this deck. This has all been sanded pretty well, and I need to do all this part of the deck with the same dots. So I won't bore you with that bit, but next time you see the video, I shall start coating these with a sanding sealer, all these decks. Now I've put all the dots in the deck, so I've sanded it previously, so the next job is to use the sanding sealer now and give it a good coating. I'm going to give this one coat, see how it looks, but I'll probably do a couple of coats on this, a bit of sanding in between. Okay, let's get to it. Okay, so that's the main lower deck done. Now on to the upper decks Okay, so I'm just going to let those dry. I'm going to give them another coat in a little while, sand them down, give them another coat, and then this is now the end of the video. So next week we'll see the assembling of the beams that go across here, and then I'll fit the decks in position. So thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next week. Bye.